Ooh, Caddy.
What's good? Cadillaktrackz, quick tip number 91. Just once again, I'm going over something that I like to do and something that you could try or something that you might already be doing. On Fruity Loops, if you ever watch other producers on YouTube, you might see them doing it a lot, and something that we should all do because it really kind of helps to just kind of bring harmony to the beat that you're making and to make everything fit together. Is just using scales and chords and basically bringing everything together with the helper menu. So today's quick tip is about just the helper tools and the helper menus and ghost notes basically. But with these notes right here, what you should do and what a lot of people do is just stack up the different melodies on one pattern on Fruity Loops. Of course, you know, you've noticed that sometimes you need to put sounds on different patterns so that you can sequence them out in the sequencer and you don't have all your sounds just going like one block. So a lot of times you want to sequence them out, so you start putting your sounds, or you get in the habit of putting your sounds on different patterns. And that's something that I used to do too, you know, because I got in the habit of doing that, and it is something that you have to do, but it's best reserved for the end of the track. And what I mean is that it's better to build the track in one pattern list. I think I went over this. I went over channel rack. A quick tip over channel rack, but it's so important because if I was to click a sound right here and go into piano roll, I hold control and I push right click and it lets me see all the notes inside of my screen that it can fit. And you can see the different chords that are playing and the different hi-hat patterns. I can even see, you know, different drums. I make my drums in Machine, but if they were in Fruity Loops, I would even see my kicks and snares and stuff like that. And it just helps to bring unison. And the better that you get at, you know, doing that, your timing and the sounds that you can put in and layer on top of others, it'll become more complex, and your beats will start to really stand out because you'll be bringing a lot of harmony. Basically, you know, something's already playing a certain note, and then you're layering it up with another sound, and you're keeping everything in certain keys. And if done right, it can really bring a lot of harmony into the mix and just balance, if you will. So just a quick tip. I think it's something that we all probably already do already, but if you're making the beat and you're putting everything on its own pattern, make sure that you try to put it on one pattern, you know, like this, so that you have different melodies stacking up on top of each other. So when it comes time to lay a bass line or something, or bring a new sound into the mix or the beat, you already have a reference of the scale and the keys that you're playing, so you're not all over the place, especially if you're laying it down by, you know, by key, you know, by mouse instead of, you know, piano. If you're not a piano player, knowing what keys to play and when to play them, it can really change the workflow that you have. So just a quick tip on that, something that you probably already observed, you probably already know. Like I said, it's best reserved for at the end of the beat to split these channels. That's why you just click right here on this button right next to pattern 1, right click it, actually left click it, just regular click, and then go to split by channel, and it'll split them all for you at the end. That way you'll be ready to go ahead and start sequencing them out. But in the meantime, you should just go ahead and stack everything up on top of each other. That way you just have a reference from what you just did, because as long as ghost notes are selected, you'll always be able to open up a new channel and see your notes in the background. And just for quick, you know, just to make sure you know how to do that, you just go right here to this little arrow right here inside the piano roll in the top left, and go to helpers, and it's right here, ghost channels. And that way you can see the notes from the other different patterns that you have. This is a quick tip. We probably already all know about this, but it's a thing of preference for me to go ahead and stack everything up in one pattern so you can see it all, give yourself a big picture. Kind of helps the workflow move. You should try it if you haven't. Cadillaktrackz 1.